Hey there, fans of brotherly love wrestling. It is I, Victorlicious.
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the real McCoy, J.D.X. Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City.
Hey there, brotherly love wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready?
They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Everybody to Brotherly Love Wrestling, and on the show this week, as promised, we have Mr. Nelson Bauer. Nelly, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure, as always.
So last time we talked to you, we had almost all the goons, a big grouping of goons last time. Now it's just you by yourself. Do we have Mr. Suits with us today, by the way?
Mr. Suits is in the trunk of Killian's car.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's torture.
Well, he's not, number one, he can be a little racist. Okay. He's not the nicest puppet. He said some things to Jay Bougie that Bougie didn't appreciate. They've got a little beef. I've separated them multiple times. We keep him away from civilization as much as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he deserves it. This is kind of like his punishment.
Yeah, but a lot of people also like to touch him or flirt with him and stuff. And I'm like, he's 17, right? So we got to keep him away from people. Just he could get, bad things could happen to Brad.
Yeah. So, but nonetheless, we were talking to you today.
Wait, I gotta say it. He was having a Brad day.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ.
You should be on Impractical Jokers.
What a bump.
But
nobody
today,
listening will get that.
No, nobody will.
And I'm not even going to reference it because they can wonder.
No reason to. But we have the documentary as we record tonight, Thursday night. Tomorrow, Friday, will be coming out. It's about the PWI 500 with you and Dust. You guys been working on this for a while now.
About 3 years.
So, what went into it? Why do this?
That's a good question.
Yeah, why do this?
Dude, I don't know. I don't think I want to anymore. I'm gonna tell him to scrap the doc. Let's forget the whole thing ever happened. No, Dust got the call from Rob Radke Rob Rockham, that he got number 500 in 2022, and Dust was like shocked. So he called me and, congratulated him. And then, a bunch of like Killian was in, Eel was in, Miles and Rob, like everybody, pretty much a lot of people got in. So it was like cool. And then Dust just came up with him and Killian, they're really the backbone. I'm in the doc. Like it's Dust's story of being 500 and the journey of him, getting 500 and then challenging people to fight in 500 versus 500 matches throughout the whole year, and like getting those matches and the struggle of that and the travel and, that kind of stuff. And then I'm like the secondary story, so to speak. But Killian and Dust were the ones that like edited, filmed. I mean, we all did a lot of filming, but they're the backbone of this. But yeah, it's just about the journey of being 500 and what it's like, and it also gives a good little history of the list here and there.
So what goes, like, this is going to be a weird, probably an open-ended question. Who knows? But Like, what is the process? Like, what goes into all this? Like, does your guys collective like brain stop working? Because it always seems like you guys got something cooking up.
I know. Killian and Dust are the absolute workaholics. Like, just always. Like, Killian has a whole 3-hour YouTube video coming out soon. Probably in the next week or two, something like that. That he's been working on at the same time as working on the doc, at the same time working in real life, which, Killian too, go subscribe. Yeah, I don't like they're really the idea guys for the most part, and then I help out or chip in. Like, we have my biggest contribution to the film, other than being in it, like being filmed a lot and telling that story, was the music. There's a lot of like, I think I did, and it's just garage band, so it's nothing crazy, but like, I think 7 tracks, maybe 7 or 8 tracks, like on GarageBand for like certain parts of the film, all around like 2 minutes or so. And we're gonna put out an album, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
It'll just be the Being 500 soundtrack, because I think I look at those. Like, I have the Grease soundtrack on vinyl. I just always thought it was cool. Like, oh, I can just go buy a soundtrack to a movie. I don't even like Grease, but I just have the album because I thought it was like big to an album.
Okay.
And putting together songs and figuring out music. Other than that, the big
Can I make a request / suggestion?
Absolutely.
Can you make music videos?
Oof.
Because I'd really like to see like a Mentos type video with Big Dust.
I'm sure we could figure out, like, because the thing is, the music in the film, it's a lot of like, there'll be like a montage or something and there's music, or it'll be a promo for an upcoming 500 match and it'll be music. Some of it I did, some of it, we just pulled from somewhere else. And yeah, music video would be interesting. I don't know if I would do a music video. I would do like a montage sequence or something. There's a couple songs that didn't make the movie that I really like, and it'd be kind of cool to use those for like maybe a montage.
We get like a dance number or something like that.
I would absolutely do a dance number. Yeah, I would do that.
Like a big stage production dance number where you guys like just get a high school stage.
It's funny you mentioned that, because Killian and I we pitched to a local theater. I don't even know if I should tell this story, but I don't care. I got 2 matches left. I don't care. We pitched a variety show, and Killian and I were writing out this entire variety show, like kind of like the Muppet Show, where it was like a musical guest, or we do like SNL kind of, I guess, but more Muppets, like kind of not meta, but audience is in on the joke.
Yeah.
So to speak, like we are doing a show. We know it's a show.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And the ending, we were going to do a big Goon musical number where we all had like matching suits and everything. We had the whole thing.
Like a big variety show.
Yeah, and there'd be a big Goons musical. It was going to be the Goons variety show. So that would have been fun. But then the theater they said yes, and then they just ended up doing their own variety show like a couple months later, and Killian and I were like,
oh,
fuck it. I was like, do you still want to do that? He's like, if you want to do it, you write it, because I'm not touching that anymore. I was like, all right. So variety show looks like it may be out the window, but you never know.
Like, how do you get the people to come?
Yeah, I mean, it's a local theater, and they get a lot of, like, when they have plays every month or every few months, they get a pretty good crowd. They just run too long. They'll do like 2-3 weeks of a play, and it's like, dude, people do not want to see it that many times. So the variety show, we were just going to do 1 weekend, and that was it. Which Killian, I said Friday, Saturday. Killian said Friday, Saturday, Sunday matinee, and that's one thing we never agreed on. I was like, fuck the matinee, or sorry, frick the matinee.
You can curse as much as you want.
It's like, we don't need the matinee. Who's coming on a Sunday at like 12 or 3? I wouldn't. Friday, Saturday night, you get all your friends and your family, and people come just from the theater. You get them
But
all
believe it or
boozed up.
not, that Sunday matinee would have been the hipsters and the people over 35.
That's true. I mean, Killian's probably right, but who cares? It'll never happen. It's not going to happen now.
It's really upsetting.
Yeah,
What
it's annoying.
world do we live in where we can't get a Goons frickin' variety show?
Dude, who knows? Who knows? But I doubt it.
All right, so
I'm hopeful.
you snuck something in there, and we don't know if the good listeners caught it. So I'll reiterate the fact. You said verbatim, you only have 2 matches left, and then you're done. Now, what the hell does that mean?
That's
Now,
right.
I know what it means, but why?
Well, wrestling hurts like a mug.
No, they told me it was fake. I don't believe it.
And like, I still love the first time I stopped wrestling. I just kind of felt like a job. I fell out of love with it. I was like, like I don't feel like doing it every weekend anymore. It's not fun. And then as soon as I leave, the Goons pop off, and I'm like, man, these are all my best friends in wrestling, and now they're like everywhere. So that reeled me back in. I was like, got to get in on that. So started wrestling again. I was like, really loving it. I've always had lower back pain, just from sports growing up, and then from wrestling. Like my lower back, it just always kills me. Eventually, it went away, and I was like, "That's what's up. That's sweet." And it moved down into like my left butt cheek, bro, and then my whole and my whole left leg, like it'll just go numb, or like I took a spear, like 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and I took that one bump, and I was like, no, I cannot do this, like at least right now. Like I got to get that fixed before I do anything. So,
And that costs money, of course.
yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. It hurts too much, so I got a couple things lined up. The last one will be something I've never done before, which I'm terrified, but we'll see. Hopefully it plays out. At most, I don't know. It could be 2, could be 3, but it's like,
The
I know
end is
for
near.
a fact. Yeah, I know
I'll
for a
give you,
fact
I'll
I
give
have
you an
to.
alternative. If the last one doesn't work out, you could just beat me and Larry up in the ring, and that could be your last match.
I'll do that. You guys could beat me up. And
All
Brad
right.
can come in and
No.
make the save.
No,
no,
we much rather get our ass whooped. Absolutely.
No. He's putting us over on the way out. He's doing it like an old Dutch sport.
Who wants to take the Nelligre and who wants to take the Snap Soupy?
Okay, so I think Larry's obviously taking the
Nelligre?
For sure. Yeah.
And then I'll
just
take
make
the
it
Snap
easier on
Soupy.
your back. Make it easier on your
Yes.
back. You don't want to have to lift me.
I feel like even with the pain I'm in, the Snap Soupy, I would not bother me. I just love hitting it so much.
I'm a little bit, although I'm not light by any stretch of the imagination. I'm definitely lighter, and I'd probably give you a better lift off to catch my drift.
Yeah.
I love hitting that move so much. Damn. I might have to go back to wrestling already.
So, I mean, it's a shitty question only because it's been asked, but like, what brought you in? Like, what got you interested in wrestling?
I was friends with Dust in high school, and it was like 2015 where him and I would start, like, we'd watch pay-per-views.
No,
We both
how old are you, by the way?
27.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew you were younger, obviously, but I wasn't. Especially
I'm
'cause
old, dude.
You have a baby face. I mean, regardless
With
of
this
your
muzzy?
yeah,
Oh,
regardless
man.
of your mustache and the
Don't
peach
touch the
fuzz
mustache.
on your chin, like you come off
Cubes.
have a very baby face. So that's why I was asking.
That's crazy because my name tag when I worked at Waffle House when I was 18, my name tag said babyface. It didn't say Chris, which is not my real name. No, my real name's Chris. It didn't say Chris.
You're breaking the fourth wall. The fourth wall is broken.
It didn't say Nelly, which nowadays it would definitely say Nelly because
Yeah.
just everybody calls me Nelly.
That's funny how that happens, right? You have a whole new fucking identity.
Well, it started from hockey, and that's how I brought it into wrestling. Was just because my last name is Nelson, So we went with Nelson, and then I was using a Bauer hockey stick, so we got the name. But then I'd be playing hockey, and then you kind of just give people nicknames. It's like sports, So like you'd be like, "Yo, Nelly," like nobody, like, "Hey, Nelson, pass me the puck." It's just like Nelly, like that kind of. So I just was, I don't know, I mentioned it, and then now just everybody, all it is Nelly, just 24/7. But no, Dustin, I was sorry. Back to the original. I got off on a little Nelly tangent there. Dustin and I were friends in high school, and in 2015, we started watching pay-per-views together, and we eventually went to Mania in New Orleans. That was 2018, so that was WrestleMania 34, and that was in April. Then I turned 21, like a couple weeks later, and it was I think it was early May. I just hit somebody up. I went to a Margarita Monday, came home I was feeling pretty good, and I knew somebody that was in the area that wrestled at the time, and I was feeling a little brave, and I was like, "Hey, where do you train? I'd love to get involved." And he was like, "Oh, I go to this place, whatever." And I was like, "Cool, I want to get in a little better shape, and then I'll start training." He's like, "Nah, just come. We train Wednesday." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe." He's like, "No, I'll pick you up. Let's go." I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And then I just went.
That's a good friend, though. They made you do it.
Well, I wouldn't call him a friend, but
that's a good person.
Yeah,
maybe not a good.
He put no. He pushed me in, and I stayed, and then I brought Dust with me. Like a couple months later, I was like, "You gotta train. Like this has been our dream kind of thing. Like we've always wanted to do this. I'm doing it. I want you to do it too." So I brought him, and and we started training, and then that's about it. That's 2018. To think I've been doing this for around like 6 years is so weird to me. Like I think about it and I'm like, ugh, that's crazy. I mean, I took like a year and a half off, which was nice, but just to do it that long, like be in the business, I've known Killian for 6 years. That just it feels weird. I don't know.
So in the trailer that dropped earlier in the week,
yes,
there is obviously you said you were in the dock and a talk of how you're drinking and how you can't stop, and then you may miss an event, and then you just continue on drinking, and you can't look at your friends and stuff. How hard was that to put that out in the open, and how are you doing with that as of right now? Like, obviously, it's a constant battle, I know, but like,
yeah. Well, saying it on camera was like kind of therapeutic in a way. I know it's a little cliche, but it really was kind of like it's watching it back that's like the hardest, because I'm like, damn, I remember that person. Because long story short, I go to therapy, and we got things are very, 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 like I'm drinking tonight. It's Thursday night. Typically, I'd go to the bar and have a couple drinks and then go home. But I was like, I got an interview. I'm going to be here this time. We've rescheduled enough. I'm going to do it. So I had a couple beers in the fridge, and I was like, I'll just have a couple, and I got to be at work at 8 tomorrow anyway. So like I have a day or two a week where I'm allowed to have a little fun. But then every other day, I'm not interested in drinking. It's crazy how therapy really because I tried it a few different times, but for some reason, like this time it just clicked where I was like, no, I think it was telling my friends on camera and knowing
you held yourself accountable.
Yeah, like, dude, there's no going back from this, like ever at all. Like
not if you have a conscience.
Yeah. So it's like, and your friends hold you accountable. So I got a really good support system, and I got, my ways. But like you said, it's always a constant battle. But it's crazy how I can go 4, 5, 6 days and be like, I don't even feel like drinking. When before it was like every day, it was like, why am I not blackout drunk? It's Tuesday. I'm off. I should be drunk. and then the next day, and then like it's crazy. But yeah, putting that stuff out on film, it was difficult. Yes, dude, I saw the screener for the movie, the ending, dude. Woo, that was tough to watch. It's very sad. So the ending is, and it flies by. The movie, I think it comes in at like an hour 40, something like that, hour 45 at most,
And
which we didn't even,
right?
yeah, it's going right on YouTube tomorrow at 4, Perfectly Okay Productions. It flies by. It's crazy how much it flies by.
Is that where you can find it at? Perfectly Okay
Productions, yeah. And then I'm pretty sure I'm allowed to say this, in like a month or two, it's going to go up on Killian Tube as well. So he's got like a little bit more. Perfectly Okay Productions just started, so it doesn't have a real big subscriber count yet. I'm sure this will get a lot of views and help that. Like we got Simon Gotch to do an interview and stuff like that. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff in there for sure. But yeah, Perfectly Okay Productions tomorrow at 4, and then at some point in the future it'll be on Killian Tube. But yeah, that ending it's whew, I thought looking at the other stuff was tough. That was tough.
I do want to
no spoilers.
I do want to kind of expand on it just a little bit more, because I'm so interested on like I grew up with a family. I mean, my entire family drank forever, and I've seen every stage of alcoholism and all that. How do you, like you said, all right, 4 or 5 days a week, you don't even think about it. How do you stop yourself from the nights like this to where you might have 1 or 2? Like, how does that, for you in your head, how does that not escalate and just keep going?
Well, for me, if I do drink, then it's like probably going to keep going, or I'll want it to keep going. So I just don't. Is like which way easier said than done, because I tried it before and it was difficult, but like it's just a lot easier now for some reason. I just don't. Like I got work tomorrow morning. I'll get off work and I'll be like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Another thing that really, really helps, investing in a weed pen, because you just rip that. I mean, obviously just normal flower, obviously, but you know, I'm more of a weed pen guy. I don't know why. That helps a lot too, because I just rip that and I'm like, I don't even feel like, I'll just sit here and watch YouTube on my day off or watch a movie or something. Like, I don't feel like doing anything, which is good at times.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing, like you said, grew up with a family that drank. My dad was an alcoholic. My mom was an alcoholic. Like, and they both just stopped. Like, didn't need help, didn't need anything. They both just stopped. And I was like, oh, how did you guys do that? Like, I go to therapy once a week, and like, I don't know how, but it's like, nah, I'm done. Like my mom, once every like month, she might have like 2 Seagrams or a Coors Light. But before, I mean, it was like almost, she'd get off work and it was like, oh, I gotta have a beer after work. And it's not like she would get drunk. She would literally just be like, I have to have like a beer or 2 after work because I had a long day. And then she's like, nah, I gotta not do that. So she just stopped. My dad was like really bad into alcohol, and he was just like, forget this. But I mean, I get why, because he had the best, I guess the worst, but for like, if you were a young guy, he had the best setup. He lived next door. Literally, his next door neighbor was a bar, and on top of the bar was his friend's house. Like, they owned the bar. It was a 2-story building type thing.
Yeah.
And he was the neighbor. So he knew everybody next door, and it's a bar. Like,
yeah.
No wonder, like, shocker, things spiraled out of control. There was nothing going on in that town. Everybody got their mail at a P.O. box where I lived in Jersey, because the town was so small. There's nobody there. It's just one road.
Goddamn New Jersey.
Dude, there was like a little like bodega type shop, and then at the other end of the street was the bar, and like that was it. There was nothing in the town. It was crazy.
South Jersey?
North Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. It was It's like it's not
The
far
north
from.
is in central.
Pretty sure it's more north. It's about an hour from Blair. Is it Blairstown? No. Oh man, I used to be very close with a girl from a town like 20 minutes from where I used to live. I can't remember the name of her town. I'm not going to ask her now. It's too late. And she's in a relationship.
This is a Zoom call. We can Zoom her in. Come on, get her on. Come on. We'll ask her the tough questions.
Like, where do you? I forget what town you lived in.
Listen, lady, tell us what town you lived in 15 years ago. Now,
I lived in Johnsonburg. That was the town I lived in. It's like 20 minutes from a town. It's a pretty popular town. I can't remember the name though. It's like near where they shot Friday the 13th. If that rings a bell at all.
Really?
Dude, so my great-grandmother told me this story. I'm hoping it's true. But you know Crazy Ralph from the original, the first and second one?
Yeah.
He's riding around on the bike and he's like, "You're all doomed." That was my great-grandfather's bike, apparently. That's what she told me. May she rest in peace. I hope she wasn't lying. But they paid them she said they came up and paid them $20. And that was it. And they were like, "Yeah, sure, you can have it." And they're like, "Thank you." And then they watched it and they're like, "Oh, shit, there's the bike." That's crazy. Because my dad was going to take me to like the diner where there's a few scenes shot there and stuff like that. Like we live close to where that was shot.
Okay.
I had a friend that went to camp in like where Camp Crystal Lake is. It's not called Camp Crystal Lake, obviously, which they should.
I would hope not. That would scare the shit out of everybody.
They should and
Absolutely.
make it a little tourist thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's not called Camp Crystal Lake, but she stayed there for like a week, and I was like, "Damn, that's cool. That's what's up."
I bet you nobody thought we were going to hear this story tonight.
I didn't think I would tell this story either.
Look,
we have a way. We have a way of just pulling the random shit out.
Yeah, that's
me. I just be yapping. I yap, dude.
Look, that's why you fit perfectly on our show. It's because you get these other podcasts that want to ask where you trained and who you trained under and all this shit. Meanwhile, we're talking about Camp Crystal Lake and alcoholism and all kinds of shit.
I have a podcast coming up where...
How dare you?
I have a podcast coming up. I probably shouldn't say this either, but I got 2 matches left. I don't care. I got a podcast coming up. They sent me a list of all the questions they ask. I was like, I don't want to do that.
And is it all the same, like the questions I'm saying? Like those
bullet
point questions?
It's the ones where you're like, dude, why? No wrestler or like, I mean, I could speak for like wrestlers, but I don't know about other arts, but I would imagine like it's the last questions we want to hear. It's like, I've answered that a million times. Like, I'd rather go on and talk like this, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like, yeah, so I started under Mark Harrow, and then I did this, and then I did that. And then Killian really brought me along, you know?
Here's what I realized. This is just personally. Half of the time when I would ask those questions and I would get the answer, I would have no fucking clue who the hell they're even talking about.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of these trainers, I just don't know them. They're like, yeah, you know this guy? I'm like, as a matter of fact, I don't.
A lot of the trainers, they're like local guys that like don't wrestle anymore. Or the only one, I mean, Mark Harrow, I think, is a really good trainer. He trained me. Mark trained me like wrestling in the ring. You know, kind of like just being a wrestler. Killian taught me like traveling and promos, marketing yourself. Like just bringing me out. He brought me out on the road. I was only like 3-4 months in, and he took me out. Sorry, Killian literally just called me like as I was telling that story.
All right, get him in here. We'll ask him about
we can.
Go ahead, get him in here. We'll ask him where that girl lives.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like Blairstown, but I feel like
we're going with Blairstown. People listening out there, we're going with Blairstown.
Where do y'all live?
It's a real town, but we're going with it.
2351. Oh, I shouldn't say that.
You're fine.
Yeah.
We're not on that often.
I guess
He might
like nobody's listening live, are they?
Yeah, no. Ain't gonna
Okay. I just had to say it out loud for myself, you know. I'm gonna tell him join right now. One of the last podcasts I did one of the first podcasts I did a few years ago, he joined in on that one too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he pops in. He's very upset at me right now. He said, "What the hell?" Because I sent him the voicemail. Zoom? Yes. This is a live reaction, folks. Where are you going to get this?
That's right.
You're only going to get this on the Brotherly Love podcast with Nelly.
So this is happening?
Sponsored by Four Loco, by the way. I'm a sponsored athlete. So let the record
Congrats.
show.
That's awesome. Hold on. I got to let him in.
Oh, my God. I like how you walked up like you got to let him into the door.
I did.
Oh, man.
Hey, what the goddamn hell is going on here?
We're doing a real interview, not a funny one.
Turn your camera on.
Oh, okay, all right. We're not being silly. I have to be serious. I wish you had warned me about
We're
that.
we're still being a little silly. We're talking about Friday the 13th.
I would have
That's
came
not
in.
the answer too. Why do you guys answer face close?
Yeah.
Face close shit.
I don't like the look of my face, so that's why I do
like
it.
you guys are in your 50s and don't know how to
Go ahead, Mel. Get in there. Come on.
I do it because Nelly does it. And I think it's funny that Nelly does it.
It's true. I do it all the time.
That's how he answered us today.
So
Yeah.
you guys are talking about the movie Friday the 13th instead of being 500. That's
we
talked about
covered that
about.
already. We covered that already. We're
We
moving
covered
along.
500. We covered how you're the workhorse of the Goons.
Yeah.
That was
from
said.
like an editing perspective.
Yeah.
Yes. Literally,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I can see that. No, but Dustin honestly is the workhorse on this project. Like he's
the
crushed it,
backbone.
and I'm sure Nelly undersold what he did musically for the project. I mean, just like
Not really.
I don't even think you know this. But we got copyright struck, whatever the terminology is, like very last second, like yesterday, on the first song on the movie. So we had to use another one of Nelly's songs that he uses later in the movie as like the main theme for the film. But we're very, very lucky to have him to like do that, because dealing with copyright stuff has been a bitch on this project.
Oh, we were just talking about earlier about how like
I did not
how do
know that.
you guys ever shut it off?
No, I'm editing right now. No,
I told you,
I'm-
dude. I told you.
I'm editing right now. Here's my big bong and a beer. I don't know if you can show that on television.
You're fine.
But yeah, I'm in Premiere Pro right now. I'm cooking.
That's insane. Like the ideas and stuff, they just keep like, how do you guys keep track of everything that you guys come up with?
Well, it honestly, a lot of it, I'll be honest, seems like a lot because there's like 7 or 8 of us, right? So it seems like we're doing a lot, but we have our own individual things. Like Nelly and I have like 1 or 2 things that we're kind of scheming up. Nelly and Dustin have 1 or 2 things that they're kind of scheming up. So it's not as much as it seems. But thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Maybe it's just the quality, because everything when I see something you guys do, I'm like, all right, I got to watch this because I know it's going to be different than anything else that I've seen in a while. So when you guys put that, just like this documentary that's coming out, like you guys are behind it, so
the trailer's
I know-
legit.
yeah. Like
Hell yeah.
I know the creativity's there. Like it's like you're getting taken on a ride, and I think we've talked about wrestling and how you want to be taken on a ride. The last time we talked, it's just that you guys get it, and you go about it in such a unique way.
Yeah, well, I very much appreciate that. I hope that stays consistent through this documentary. You know, right before you put something out is when you're the most self-conscious about it. So I'm sitting here like thinking and looking at stuff, being like, oh, I wish I did this different. I wish I did this different. But I am, all that being said, very excited for everybody to see what we cooked up with this bad boy. And I wish we could get Dustin, but he is the busiest man in show business.
I saw his van when I was leaving work.
At his workplace that will be unmentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. the trap house.
If I didn't have to like rush home, I was gonna stop it. Dude, there was a part of me that was like, I should start this podcast interview with Dust doing his job.
Buy the black and mild from Dustin.
I was like, nah, I need to get home like right now. I was still 5 minutes late.
That's okay. We were 3 days late, so
yeah,
you're dogged.
Well, the documentary's about a week and a half late. So
that's true.
Right on schedule.
We're all right where we need to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'll let you guys get back at it. Have a wonderful interview.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, of course.
A great surprise.
Yeah, of course. Always down to drop in.
I'll call you later.
Yeah, hit me up later. Hit me up later, because I got a hot date.
I ain't gonna be up later, dog.
Ooh, all right.
Dude, I can't tell you how much I genuinely hate him for real. Can't stand the guy.
You guys are brothers. You're not supposed to like each other. You just have to love each other.
I've told him because I'm an only child, so I've told him like a million times, like, you're the only person where I'm like, you're my older brother. Especially, like I said, like, he took me out like 3-4 months in, just on the road, and I travel with him all the time. So I've like been on the road with him for like 6 years. It's just like, we call each other like every single day, talk on the phone for like hours. Dust is the same way. Like, I can call Dust anytime, talk for hours. You know, I could go to Dust's house without him being there and just hang out with his parents. That's the best.
Yeah, that's how you know you're in. That's where if you're part of the family at that point.
Like, yeah, they ask Killian and I to dog sit when they were gone for a week, so we just spent the week at Dust and just hung out. It was so fun.
Did you guys like video call him? The hell? Why can't I think of the word?
FaceTime.
Like FaceTime.
Thank you, Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think. I think he called a couple times just to check in and see how everything was going. But no, he was visiting his niece for the first time, so they're having a big family thing, and so we let them be. But we almost threw a party, and then last minute we were like, nah, that's not good.
You should have at least taken like a FaceTime like in the tub with like bubbles all in your hair and shit. Be like,
I would love to, but for some reason the water there smells like eggs. I don't know what, and I'm being serious, and I don't mean to bury Dust right now, but his water smells like eggs. Killian and I couldn't stop talking about it. We were so mad. We were like, why does it smell like eggs? Like we didn't even want to shower there. It's just like smell eggy afterwards. So sorry, Dust.
Next to a chicken farm? Maybe that'll explain it.
Maybe they need to fix the piping or something.
Maybe they like the smell of eggs.
Ugh.
Maybe they're part chicken.
Nelly, we want to thank you so much for coming on, talking about the doc. We can't wait. Like I said with the trailer, I thought it was you guys, it was Dust, and I know the way the Goons are, and I'm expecting this documentary to be this fun-filled thing. And then that like minute and 20-second mark hits of that trailer, and it gets pretty damn heavy. And I was like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting it, and it just made me more interested in it, especially because we had Dust on during this time period and talked to him about PWI and being number 500. So I can't wait to see it tomorrow. I know, obviously, like Joe said, the work you guys do, and you guys have so much passion, and you're so talented, and it's so much fun to watch. So we all can't wait. One more time before we
expecting one thing, you get something completely different.
Exactly.
I appreciate that. We put in a lot of work. Took a lot of years, like filming just nonstop, and then the editing process starts, and that takes way longer than you would imagine. And then the music and everything. It was a long process, and it's cool that it's finally coming out tomorrow, 4 p.m. Perfectly Okay Productions. PWI called it a love letter to professional wrestling. Killian and I called it more of a breakup over text. So, which Killian just told me that Winnie the Pooh, the 3-hour video I was telling you about, that he's working on right now. It comes out
It's called
Sunday.
Winnie the Pooh?
It's every Winnie the Pooh movie ranked, or he goes through every Winnie the Pooh movie ever made and talks about it. It's 3 hours long. He's been working on this for a long time, and he always puts out really good shit. So Sunday on Killian Tube, a Winnie the Pooh 3-hour retrospective is coming out.
Okay.
Oh my God.
These two big projects back to back this quick is crazy.
That had to have taken forever.
Yeah, it took him a long time.
Other
He's been working on
guests.
it. So I'm excited.
So, man, we had him on and we didn't even get to talk about that too, man. We are bad at our job.
No, he texted me. It was like, oh shit, plug Winnie the Pooh. It's coming out on Sunday. So that's a little on him. It's his video.
Larry, put it in the notes. After Winnie the Pooh's over, we get Killian on, and maybe we get Nelly back, and we continue this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Dust, we got to get Dust on.
Of
We got to get
course.
all you guys back on after the docs. All
Yeah.
the docs.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to speak for the group. There's one thing all of us hate. It's speaking for the group, but I think they might be down for that. I
Well,
could see that
We
being a
have
thing.
we have till April. We're shutting it down come April.
Yeah, we're retired too. It's hurting.
Yeah.
It's hard.
We've been doing this for almost
seven.
7 years now. So we're winding down, but we definitely would like to get the Goons on as a group at least one more time before we stop in April.
Oh, you shut. Oh shit, I missed
Yeah.
that. I don't know what happened, but I heard April, and I'm like, what's April got to do with it?
Yeah. So yeah,
You're shutting down in April.
yeah. So WrestleMania
Man.
week, we will be doing our last show.
Is there
We
some
got to get a
infighting?
dance number or something. We need a
No.
Goons dance number.
Dude, is it an infighting thing? Are you guys feuding behind the scenes?
Absolutely not. Not us. No.
Before I joined, were you guys like, motherfucker?
No.
That's why I'm in my own house. I can't.
Yeah, that's why we're not even in the same location.
Yeah, all right. I thought it was infighting. You guys gave off big rivalry vibes.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we did.
No, you guys are the greatest.
I'm 40 and I need to fucking go to bed earlier. That's what my vibes are.
Yeah, and then here I am making you wait until 9, and then it's 9:05, and you're like, where the fuck is he? I know. I'm sorry about that, by the way.
No, you're fine.
It's all good.
So, Nelly, thank you so much again. We are so excited for the doc. We can't wait. Also, like you said, Killian's coming out on Sunday, so take a look at that as well. And hopefully we'll be talking to you very soon. Thanks again for the time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I got you. Everything
Yes.
else. Pubes gone.
Yeah.
Neck pubes, that is.
Yeah.
You freaks. Neck pubes gone. Little Howie Mandel patch is gone, but we're keeping the muzzy. Aye, Cap, and I got it.
All right. Thank everyone for watching. We hope you enjoyed. We'll be talking to you very soon.